Common cold. Okay, now let's look at the common cold. Not only is that a brilliant expression of your immune system, and think about it, it's typically a virus, and a virus is going to be brought in through the nasal mucosa or oral mucosa. It's going to have a histamine response, which swells it up, the mucous membranes, walls it off, and your immune system looks at that virus, builds antibodies to it, and also, since viruses, funguses, and bacteria die at a higher temperature, what are you going to develop? You're going to develop a fever. Oh, brilliant. Now, as long as you give the body healthy nutrients such as vitamin D, vitamin C, within 24 to say 48, maybe 72 hours at the most, you're going to get over that cold and you'll be protected from that virus and any similar virus. Now, the beauty of a fever is for every 1 degree increase in temperature, the speed of your immune system doubles. So you start thinking, wow, 102 fever, that's a 64 times faster. Plus the viruses, funguses, and bacteria that can cause a cold response all die at a higher temperature. So when we look at this, in crazy world, you would take a Tylenol or Advil or some type of toxic chemical to reduce the fever. I'm going to tell you how to work a fever to build the strength of the body. Let's look at the body as intelligent. Now, if you're shivering, okay, and the person who has a cold is shivering, that's multiple muscle contractions in order to generate the heat, because the body knows that it needs heat. If you're sweating, that's the body trying to cool off through evaporation. So as long as the person is hydrated, and if they've had vomiting or diarrhea, you need to supplement with electrolytes, with coconut water would be ideal. If you don't have that available, put some raw sugar and some raw salt in some water and shake it up to replace the electrolytes. Make sure the person is fully hydrated, because if the person is dehydrated, a fever can be dangerous. In a fully hydrated person, if you attempt to change the fever artificially, you're going to make the cold last longer and you're going to weaken the immune system. So what do you do when you see a fever? If the patient's eyes are glassy, like the child's eyes are glassy, and they're hot, give them a room temperature bath. That means, because you don't want a cold water bath, just tap their chest, tap their belly, tap their legs with a sponge, and have them cool off through evaporation. At the start of a fever, put them in a hot bath. Why? Because the bath water is going to generate that temperature for them, and they're going to feel good. We want to work with the fever, have it elevate and go down. Did you know that there's certain cancer therapies that are raising areas of the body to 107 degrees and wiping out cancer cells while leaving regular cells healthy? Did you know that most fevers are self-limiting to about 105 degrees? That it's very, very hard to get brain damage from a fever as long as you can sweat and cool off. So really, don't be afraid. I get parents all the time, his fever is 102. Don't worry, a kid's normal temperature is 100. Okay, so realize that a fever is going to go up and down. Never, ever give a chemical like Tylenol or Advil or Motrin to chemically lower a fever. Utilize a tepid sponge bath or blankets or heat to raise and lower it. But look at the body. If the body's 102, 103 fever and they're sweating, they're trying to cool themselves off. Tepid sponge bath. If they're 102 or 103 and they're shivering, put a blanket on. Give them spicy foods, give them heat-generating herbs, and get their nervous system checked. Allow the body to go through the natural immune system responses. And not only does it cleanse the body, it helps the body heal. Oh, and by the way, you know what that achiness is? When you get a cold and you're sore and aching, that's your body destroying and exploding the viruses and exploding the bacteria. And that's your body eliminating the toxins. So when you're sweating inside a bed and that sweat is coming off of you, okay, change the sheets. I'm telling you right now, because during a cold, that sweat is full of toxins. So you want to change the sheets, change the bed, wash them. Don't just dry them out. Because if you're laying in soaked sweat sheets, say that 3 times really fast, or you're laying in a pajama that's soaked, you can actually resorb those toxins back into the skin. So get rid of those toxins, listen to your body, allow it to heal, and you're going to be stronger for it.